Where are you going, Andy?
I will remember everything about staying here at Ronald McDonald House. This was our home, and it will be our home for the next 9 months. It's where my son calls home, you know?
It's very humbling. I really can't explain.
It made a potentially even more chaotic situation less so.
There's no words to say how they made us feel like family.
I'll remember how easy everybody made it to have a place for us to go.
There's not one thing that I will not forget about this place. What is there to forget? Nothing. Because this is what's kept me safe. And we have a family here. And that's all that matters to us. She'll light any room up. She's got an attitude, she's got character that no other 4-year-old little girl would have. She'll throw you kisses over that ET tube. And everything that she's gone through, you would never even think that she's had a heart transplant. Sadie received her first heart transplant September 10th of 2013. She was 5 months old. She had been going through a mild rejection, but we were always able to control it with medications. She went down for a cath. They wanted to see what was going on, and results came back that it was cellular rejection. She got listed again July 24th, 2017. It's just nice to come here, and even though I'm by myself, I can just go into my room, I can sit out here, and I can just cry, and nobody judges you. I mean, we're all going through the same thing, different situations, but we're all in this together.
The day that my son was born, he was born at 24 weeks and 4 days. He weighed 1 pound 7 ounces. He wasn't breathing on his own. He's been in the hospital now for over 3 months. Cagely has 2 older sisters. One is 13 and one is 11. I homeschool, so being in the Ronald McDonald house has actually allowed me to continue my homeschooling with my daughters.
My wife Ashley and I have been married for 5 years. I've been working for Sedona Fire for 3 years, and we've been there basically the whole time. We have our 4.5-year-old son, Noah, and we now have a 2-week-old son, Elliot. Elliot was born in Flagstaff. They really couldn't get his oxygen saturations very well, so they diagnosed him with persistent pulmonary hypertension. You know, the first 5 days we were here, we basically spent 20 hours a day bedside watching him on a vent. And our world became so focused on these tiny little changes in his condition and whether or not they were better or worse, that you don't really look at anything else, and you're doing that for 20 hours a day. And then I had to rip my wife away from his bedside to try to get some sleep. But you have a place to go, and there's volunteers here who are making dinner and such, and it's, you know, nice to have a decent home-cooked meal.
We got a call last week.
Yeah, we've been in the process for several months for a private adoption. We found out last Wednesday morning that the birth mother was in labor 10 weeks early.
So my name is Jennifer Parker, and I am a military officer at Marine Corps Air Station Yuma.
I'm Brian McLean, also a military officer stationed in Yuma. So we're about 3 hours away from home right now.
So her name is Margaret Elizabeth. She's 2 pounds, 13 ounces. Margaret was born drug addicted. She had to go through withdrawal, and she's still going through withdrawal. And we have to be at the hospital, or we try to be there 3 or 4 times a day because she has a lot of appointments.
And we're there about 8 hours a day, but it's all in 1.5 to 2-hour chunks. So it's just a very fragmented day. Go for a bit, come back. Go for a bit, come back. And it's surprisingly exhausting.
My name is Chazray Hemphill, and I'm married to my husband Justin, and we have our 2 boys, Nolan and Mark. Typical 3-year-old, full of energy. If I only had the words to describe a little boy. Nolan is happiness. Nolan was diagnosed with neuroblastoma in February of this year.
After this last round of the bone marrow transplant, he's just been like he can walk from the bedroom to the living room and he's out of breath.
I think the Ronald McDonald house is great. I think that we'd be in a lot of struggling a lot without them. We live in Bullhead City. And they know that we've got enough on our plates, and it's just one less thing to stress about, one less thing to worry about.
Well, we're out of Tucson, Arizona. We've got my son Tanner, my daughter Mackenzie, and my wife Erica. Well, he's just your average kid, really. He's a good big brother. He's in 1st grade. He's just your normal kid that loves to go to school, has a ton of friends. The Friday before his diagnosis, he ran a 2-mile school event. September 6th, he was diagnosed with a medulloblastoma brain tumor. He had surgery on September 11th, and now we're going through radiation. So for the next 6 weeks, we come up Monday through Friday.
But as the weeks went on and the days went on, we had so many people at Ronald McDonald meeting our needs and taking care of us, and it truly did start to feel like a home.
From what I do for a living, I'm a firefighter with Tucson Fire. I thought this could never in a million years would I think something that I go and take care of people who are sick.
You know, we see groups of people come in and they probably have families at home that evening, but they're here touching others' lives and not asking for anything in return, but just here to reach a helping hand out to other people. And we have been lucky enough to benefit from that during our time here.
I have 2 kids now. Our son Emmett is 4.5, and our daughter Violet is 3.5 weeks old now. My day-to-day now, well, I get up here, I get ready. Sometimes I'll grab breakfast, go to the hospital, go do rounds, essentially stay there and take care of Violet as much as I can throughout the day, and then when I'm too tired to be there anymore and be useful after evening rounds, I come back, go to bed after having dinner. She was diagnosed with hypoplastic left heart syndrome, so essentially the left side of her heart is barely there and doesn't work at all. She was evaluated and enlisted for heart transplant. The average wait time at this hospital is about 3 months, but we've been warned it can go as long as a year. So she just had 1 open heart surgery to sort of stabilize the oxygen flow to her lungs, and now we're just waiting for her heart.
To contribute to Ronald McDonald House is contributing to a community that is supporting families who are witnessing their children at the worst, and to help take some of that burden off of them.